Hello everybody, hey and hey to the love lovers as well, because I'm going to also be giving more information on the status of relationships for this remaining 2 weeks of July. So I'm looking at the dates from the 14th, which is today, until the 31st of July. I've already given enough detail to go by, but I'm now adding some information, particularly for each ascendant. This is Mita, your astrology journalist, because I break the news before the news even happen using astrology. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Let's get the astrology. For the Aries ascendant, now it is important to note that from the 16th going forward, there would be information that you will receive or that you will discover about your home life or family member. Because remember, I'm always thinking relationships, but I will try to expand my explanation into other avenues where it's applicable. But for now, for the Aries, there will be information relating to your family member. It could be a very close family member, intimate to you, and you should pay attention to the information that's revealed at this time, because there are also possibilities that there is an authoritative related administrative or something like that needs to be dealt with in terms of information. So it could also be maybe a bill that you have to pay, and you have to pay urgently, and which maybe you had forgotten about, or your family member had forgotten about, and now you must deal with that. So there is that expected type of things relating to you and your family members. I also do see that, particularly for the very first few weeks, like from the 16th until the 20th, things could be trying to settle in terms of what you want to do, plans and all of that, because then after that the plans that you make could just be falling apart. But there is always hope. There's always hope, of course. So what is also possible now is that you could also return something that you would have purchased in terms of your home. Maybe you would have purchased a certain furniture, property thing related. I don't know what you could have done, right? And all of a sudden now you have to return it because you are obliged to do that. Maybe an authoritative figure within your home requires that to be done, and you have no choice. If the authority figure is your spouse, then that could also be done. But I also do see lots of passionate conversations happening within your home, and there could be also resentment or outbursts, like a right out outburst that is possible. And particularly after the 18th, when Mercury goes retrograde, then of course these things would be more feasible. Now when it comes to Taurus, now the communication here becomes problematic. It becomes a really problematic. You could appear a bit arrogant in your communications at this time, but then it wouldn't be coming off in a gentle manner. It would be coming off in a forceful manner at this time, and there could be some things that you say which are not understood by your people around you, particularly people who are respected to you and maybe you have to report to. And even if you give directions at this time, you could make some mistakes. Instead of directing a person to this street, you say a totally different street. So also When it comes to transportation at this time, you may feel like you want to experience like the first class instead of an economy class, and then for some reason they their first class is not available, and now you have to sacrifice and get the second class or economy class. So there could be those types of things happening. And of course, when it comes to communication with your neighbors and your younger people, like younger family members, you could also sound too authoritative, even if you're trying so hard. And it's not like you want to sound like that, it's appearing like that. All right, so just to mind your communication in this way. And of course, when it comes to making things for the relationship, surprising your partner, making efforts. Here you could make efforts out of your own ego, like things that and maybe buy a present that you think your partner may enjoy, and it turns out it was all about you, in the end. So there is that possibility happening for Taurus. Now when it comes to the Gemini, okay, need to watch out your speech definitely here, because there's already the Mercury in Cancer, which Mercury in Cancer will make a lot of Geminis when they speak, they sound like they're speaking with contention. It's always like this, right? And then even if you're saying something is simple, and then somebody else will be saying, oh, you arrogant, you think you're the it, It's normal, it's always like this, but it's going to heighten now after the 16th. So definitely whatever you say, it's definitely going to be judged. It's going to be misjudged, let me say that. However, what I do see is that your bank or money, there could be improvement, right? You will be speaking with an authority voice, and a lot of people will take your voice as authority. But then those who critique you, or who are your main critics, will find it as a contentious, like you think you're the best, you think you're the it, you think you know everything, all of that, right? However, because Sun will be transiting your second house, it does give you the natural authority in your speech, in what you say, and it is important to use that for the betterment of your family. Speak life into your family or about your family at this time. Even through your authority, you use it correctly with emotions, because it's gonna be in Cancer. This is where you become emotional and like authority that has compassion, and that's what's needed here. And when it comes to your partner, definitely you will be giving directions and advice regarding how the home life should be, how their marriage life should be, how your investments together, all of that. You're going to have an eye now to that, and information to that. You may as well find out some of the maybe expenses that were not recognized before, and then now you come to realize that, but that's going to be fixed now. So it's a good time for Geminis for sure. But of course, as I said, because of the Mercury in Cancer, always critics will always be there regarding to what you say and how you present yourself due to the Mercury. Now when it comes to the Cancer Ascendant, definitely at this time you're feeling you're revived, you're feeling a bit of renewal coming over to you, you're feeling hopeful, optimistic right now, and you feel like you can regain your authority in the world, or in your position, or in your workplace. This is the time now, even in your relationship, where you feel like you can be respected, and you earned that respect. You must be respected. You feel it, like it's just oozing in your personality. You feel more courageous, more bold, and you attract life right now. Like people, when they look at you, they feel attracted, they feel warmth, they feel your vibrancy, and they are, they want to come towards you at this time, not against you. And however, I do see obviously continuous battles with some authoritative figures. It could also be in your profession, or it could be about your dharma, what you do in the society. Those are continuous, and they could be heightened now when it comes to authority. However, as I said, your authority will be seen now, finally will be like, showing. And even in your relationship, if you have been having some difficulties with your spouse right now, they could simmer down in terms of wanting to show their power and actually giving you that authoritative role right now. Yes. When it comes to Leos, so what's happening now, you could feel like at this point you just want to retreat and be alone and reflect and research. So this is not only a time for researching for truth or secrets, but it is also to discover what you want, your goals, your life. And as a result of this, you could also be feeling like you have to let go of yourself or some of your visions that you have right now, to go and realign yourself in the background. And at the same time, you have this natural yearning of relationships, or to be in a relationship, if you're single, or to give a lot of your time towards your partner at this time. And you could also include new interesting things in your bedroom life at this time, but then mostly things that will heal. So you would all be about healing your bedroom life, healing your consciousness, healing just everything relating to the bedroom when it comes to your relationship right now. And you would obviously now get to know who is been backstabbing you. For those who have enemies that have been working behind your backs right now, they would be revealed for sure. And most of the time, you do know right now, you are at the state whereby you just use your intuition and you know who's for you and who's against you in any case. So but this is now a heightened period for that, for the truth to come to you right now. And and now when it comes to the Virgo ascendant, so what I do see here is that there could be, you want to be seen in your workplace, or through your friends, or by your friends. So there is that need to be seen, and you should be seen normally, but then there is hesitance from those that are around you to give you the due recognition that you deserve. So you deserve it, and to get it, it's gonna be like a work thing. You have to work for it, but then you will gain it, and they will realize what you are carrying, maybe towards your friendships, and they will realize your role, that you're actually important to them. And even with your romance partner at this time, they could also see the value that you bring into the relationship. I do also see continuously that you could be contemplating about the commitments that you've made, or you could be in a rush to get hitched, to get committed at this time. But I also do see the pockets coming up, as in, if you are wanting a raise, you can talk to your boss right now and put everything down, introduce that desire for you to get a raise, because this is the best moment for that. And be sure when you speak, speak with be sure, but at the same time, it is also important that you know who your boss is. So do a bit of research, a bit of digging, and in what they like, so that you can use the right words, because here you definitely use the right words. You have to use the right words. You have to smooth talk, or you have to use a bit of tricks and trickery, but of course all in the legal manner, because it's your workplace. Or if it's a friend, it's your friend, so you don't want to ruin those relationships. But this is a moment now for you to get a raise in either your position, or in either in either your position or financial wise, so bank profit and all of that. Best time, right? And when it comes to the Libra ascendant, now Libra ascendant, the thing is that you could be having a whole lot of spotlight coming to you, but at the same time you could be spotlight that you don't necessarily look for, or you don't wish for at this time. It's like you're having all of this attention and you're saying, I just want to be left alone. It is just too much. So you could be getting attention. However, if you up to that, because your chart is obviously different from one Libra to the other, this could be the best time for that. I also do see some authoritative figures, or even your dad demanding some responsibility from you, or you to take care of something, a bit of responsibility, high expectations being placed upon you at this time. So that's it. And when it comes to your intimate relationships, so obviously this could apply even to your business partners. There are disappointments. I do see some disappointments here and there, and with time things will clear up, but then it is because of the Chiron that's just entered the Aries sign. So I just want you to understand why some disappointment may be coming from partners, or the relationship itself is not going the way that you want. It is due to the Chiron. But with time, with the years, things will clear up, of course. Then when it comes to the Scorpio ascendants, now what's happening is that you could be feeling or not feeling, but like wanting or wishing to travel, but then traveling for either healing or for some knowledge or answers. So there's something that you're looking for, and that's what make you to travel, and you should be open to this, because then it does bring healing towards you, or closure, so to speak. And this also could obviously apply to your dad as well at this time, and him finding some healing or answers that would give him some healing, or even the relationships that you have, or how you view your dad could also be positive at this time. So it's quite a very nice thing to have. I also do see that you could be feeling supported by your spouse. I already said that in the previous video, but I do see this is highly highlighted, and it's going to go throughout the month and just up until the 26th. So a lot of support as well from your partner, but of course the partner's behavior is always changing and not stable, but supportive, yes. And when it comes to the Sagittarius ascendants, what I see here is a lot of revelations. Secrets are being exposed right now. You are going to know quite a lot of stuff about your partnerships, about your marriage, about your relationship, about your spouse. A lot of stuff is going to be uncovered now, and emotions are going to be brought up for sure. But then you should, take it with comfort and, ease and compassion. That's what's required right now. But a lot of investment opportunities, so whether for your marriage, material wise, is also open right now. So opportunities are widely open for you. It is the best moment for those things, right? However, I also do see that in terms of your relationship or spouse, they could be having some problems, health problems, debts that they're dealing with, stuff like that, like obstacles that you may be finding with your spouse. So again, ease is are required, compassion and openness, being open-minded. And at the same time, you are feeling support regardless of the obstacles and the arguments, conflict. Really, it's not like argument, but it's like conflict. You could feel like a bit supported by them, or you feel like being with them gives you support. But then I do see for some Sagittarius, they need to be free. They just need to cut ties and end their relationships or their so that's also highly possible for the Sag. So for Capricorns, the spouse is quite emotional right now, or you're finding the spouse to be emotional, but in their emotions, they are very authoritative. They may be demanding to be treated like a royal that they are. So, and then you could be finding it difficult to satisfy your spouse right now. The expectations are too high, or you feel short of fulfilling the expectations or what you've promised. So there could be that. And there's a high chance of a huge argument right now, but with emotions being involved, which is quite normal, but it will quickly be all right in the next month. So that's expected, and you would be wanting to retain your power within the relationship, or how you should be seen and your stance. And they're also demanding to be seen as the authority in the relationship at this. Now, this obviously applies also if you have business relationships, so we could see that as well. And so just take care. I do see some of your workplace problems being resolved, and but they have been upside downs in the workplace, but that's gonna be soon be resolved for sure. And in the romance department, if you are looking for love, high chances of getting a new partner, high chances of having a light romance, right? Even if you are married and your spouse is demanding you to worship her or him at this time, you can achieve that through a lot of romance, romantic vibes. Be spontaneous, think out of the box. So those are the things that could work right now and satisfy these high expectations that the spouse will be having at this time. Yes, so I also do see high opportunities of meeting somebody new within the family. Maybe somebody is visiting, or there's a new member in the family. That's also highly possible. And high avenues of making money, increasing your bank, also high at this time. Yes. And when it comes to the Aquarius ascendant, so basically what I do see here, you could be having some issues with your boss or your colleagues at this time, but maybe your colleagues, they are acting like your boss and you won't take it, you refuse to take it. So there could be some strife, with your colleagues or with the people that you work with. So I also do expect some of, problems or arguments of being heated up at this time. And I do see that you are going to be seen as vague sometimes by your spouse, and because of that, maybe your spouse is distant, or you feel like your spouse is distant because your spouse thinks you're all about yourself, you're thinking about yourself right now. So there could be that miscommunication happening with you guys. I also do see you would be expecting your romance life to be playful, to be supportive, warm, optimistic, right? Which is highly possible with all of these planetary movements right now. But at the same time, as I said, distance there could be expected for sure. I also do see that communication wise, this would be the best way to solve your problems. There could be the ego, but problems through communication must be resolved. And the problems that have been there in the past may come up again, and you would need to solve all of these with communication and wisdom. There's some wise words, or even if you're being romantic, you think of explorative ways to express that romance. Like, don't limit yourself. Think of nice travels, going to foreign places, even if to museum, even if you're going to the cinema, you go and watch a movie that's about a different culture from you, a different country from you, like a story that's just going to bring you and your partner to a new world, so to speak, like just a new experience, right? Right. And for the Pisces ascendants, what a good time to be romantic, or like romance is coming to you right now. You're going to feel like you want to go all out, or your partner is going all out for you. And you could be thinking serious right now, or expecting to be serious right now. But of course, with the Neptune on your ascendant, there's also the cloud of judgment here when it comes to commitment. So just remember this part. And even at home, life is just optimistic, positive right now. You feel like, even with the problems that could be happening, or unexpected things that could be happening, you feel so hopeful, and which is a very positive thing. I do see some problems with maybe one of your friends, or maybe even like a higher boss coming through, but it's not a big deal. It's not something huge to it's not something huge. It's nothing to worry about that much. I do see though that there could be some expenses that are bothering you. That is highly possible, or a family member that could be saying something that bothers you at this time. So that is possible. However, when it comes to your overall communication, unexpected information can come through to you, or you say something that is highly shocking, and people are not expecting to hear that kind of words or that kind of communication from you. So that is also expected here. I also do see that you could be you could be open to being playful with your partner, or even if you are still looking single, then you open to having different partners, which is a good time just to try different people and be sure of who to date, right? Getting prepared, right? And that's it when it comes to the sun sign of Cancer, from this month until the next month. So Sun in Cancer will be giving all of these things to the relationship. And to sign up for my semester course, which will be launched, I will launch it after the Mercury goes straight again. Until then, I must say thank you. I'll be into. I'll see you soon. Ciao.